What's up, everyone? Jeremy Lasman here. Woo-wee, in the ultimate arena where it's hot, hot, hot. And today is our third episode of The Hot Seat. Today, I am going to be bringing on my assistant, Amber. We've got some hot questions that we've got lined up from our community in the ultimate arena. And I've also posted the green room link out on my social networks and on the Conscious Leadership Network. So if you would like to get some live, and what I'm going to do is actually post it here as well. If you would like to get some live coaching, just visit this link here, and it said an error occurred. Okay. I don't know if that came up, but if you're seeing that, hopefully that works. Otherwise, we'll make sure next week that I will get that. And my cat is going to yell at me a little bit. That's okay. And so, yes, we are mainly today was going to be Q&A. But if anyone sees this link and they want to join, we will bring them on and have some fun. So here is Amber. What's up, Amber?
Hey, what's up?
Amazing, amazing vibes today.
Yes.
It's been intense, that's for sure.
Yeah, I got some good questions here for you too.
I am looking forward to that, and I've got my screen lined up in case we need that. And let me just make sure that this is working. Yes. All right. So I don't know. Well, it seems to be working. Well, we'll find out. So yeah, let's. I'm ready. Let's get some questions.
All right. So this one says, I've heard you say that problems are meaningless, but how are problems meaningless when they mean something to me? It feels serious.
Yeah, I just did my Wednesday live on the CLN about the problem frequency. And when we talk about meaning and meaninglessness, of course we can do the broad brushstroke and just go straight to meaninglessness, but most people aren't ready to go make that leap. They need some sense of oh, you disappeared off the stream for some reason. There we go. I don't know why that happened. Some people need that kind of baby steps in order to really realize how everything is an illusion from that higher perspective. But what I would say to that is give yourself the full permission that your problems are very meaningful to you, and don't try to judge or run away from that pain. I guess is what we're really talking about, right? Is the pain of all those problems that are kind of piled and burdened on your imagination technology. But as much as you can, give yourself some space to really feel the difference between problems being personal and the presence of problems. Those are two different mindsets when it comes to really mastering frequencies, because you can either be in a lower state where problems are serious and real and negative and burdensome, or you can come at it from the place of challenge and solution and your mastery, where that seriousness is also made to be unreal as much as it is real. And you balance it out, and you're much more neutral to not getting entangled in the problems, but looking at it as, what is the solution? That's the curiosity.
Okay. So I'm just going to tag along on that question there and ask you, what is the purpose of meaning then? Like, why do we create meaning?
Meaning, when I look at this from a fresh perspective, meaning comes from from having or having a thought-based machine, our mind. Our mind uses thoughts to construct our relationship with reality, our relationship to ourself, and thus our relationship to everything else. And because we are meaning-making machines, I take a step back and I look at, to answer this question, what is meaning? What is meaning? And to me, meaning is time. It's the way we use our past to inform our future, or to foresight our future by using our past. And we generate depth to our thoughts, subjectivity to our thoughts with meaning, with time. Time is what gives our thoughts dimension or depth, because otherwise thoughts are just movie screens, flat screens. But it's meaning, the extrusion of depth behind those thoughts, making a rectangle a cube, that gives it the feeling, the meaning, the emotion that in our unique individuated experience gives us our perspective and beliefs and all the things of the beauty of humanity. I'm not one to, like, there's some extreme truth out there that is true that gives a broad brushstroke that, like, all meaning is meaningless, and it, like, kind of devalues or dilutes humanity for the sake of what's next. And there is truth in, like, full meaninglessness, emptiness, living from that 0 point, and that's like the ultimate kind of like synthesis of my second theory. But I also honor the sacredness of the beauty of humanity and all the nuances and subtleties that meaning gives to a uniqueness, to our originality.
Is there a way that you personally use it, like in a self-awareness view or space? Or you just take it as it is and that it's just the beauty of humanity?
What do you mean? Like how I utilize meaning?
Is there a way that we could, like, that we could utilize that for a higher purpose? That we could utilize meaning for a higher purpose?
Yes and no. I mean, when you say, like, if I'm talking to this person or you asking this question, I would ask how you define meaning. I want to be on common terms with you. Because how everyone defines meaning, how we give meaning to meaning, that's how I would respond to that question, because then I would get a sense of what the charge, what the frequency of meaning that their term. I want to get on common terms. So that would be my first kind of bounce back question before I give a general answer, because if I'm talking about meaning and we're totally on different wavelengths of how we are using terms, our grammar, then we're not going to find common wisdom.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Okay.
Yes and no. I would need to be on common terms.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to the next question here I have.
This is great.
Let's see. I've heard you say that you use pain as a guidance system, but, like, how is my pain telling me what isn't the truth? How do you use pain as a guidance system?
So if we imagine that truth is perfect, if we imagine that our center point, our presence, our truth is this Apple Pencil, and I were to put a rubber band around it or a hair tie, and I were to keep it like this, we're like around our truth, and there's no pain. I'm not pulling the rubber band. There's not pain. So when I pull this away from my truth, that's my emotional guidance saying you are not in your truth.
Oh, wow.
And the further and further away that I tug it, the further and further away I get from my truth is my emotion saying, you're out of alignment, until I get back closer to my truth. So the pain is telling you where you're not living your truth, where you're not being your truth, where you're not listening to yourself on what feels true.
Okay, so then I'm going to piggyback off that question again and ask, how do you recognize the difference between truth and illusion, especially when you're in the pain? Is it because you're feeling the pain?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, because when you're not feeling the pain, it gets worse. Like what you resist, what you resist persists.
So are you saying that all pain is illusion?
Again, that is a broad brushstroke that kind of dismantles subtleties and nuances and possibilities of like loving pain and all of the other like individual kind of beliefs that one can form around why they like pain or why they enjoy the struggle of pain and that stuff. But in truth, we're designed for bliss and joy and love and passion in a pure positive way when we're in complete alignment with ourselves.
Okay. Okay, let's see here. How do you not worry about the future? Isn't there necessary steps we have to take to be somewhat prepared? Where is the line between trusting the universe will take care of me and taking action for myself?
This is totally up to a subjective, like I don't want to claim that this is for everyone, but I will just speak for how I see it and how I interpret it and how I understand evolution, as in like what we're moving from and towards. So for me, the way that I look at low frequencies, disconnected frequencies, isolated frequencies, loneliness, everything that separates a human from existence, a human from humanity, a human from their heart, is fear. It is negativity, is fear, division, separation, that splits consciousness into multiplicity. And the way we've been conditioned is linear, is past, present, future, one lifetime, one body, YOLO, you only live once kind of mentality, and all about survival, security, safety, protection, preparation. That's how we're taught, and that's how we've existed and been conditioned to live. And I'm not saying that that's right or wrong. If that gives you an excitement or even a dread to do that, but you like that, like that gives you a purpose, or you thrive in that, or you feel it's necessary and required, I'm not here to change that. I'm only like offering new choices and perspectives. That doesn't feel good to me. When you're constantly living in fear and needing to protect yourself and needing that like shield of knowing, that to me takes the fun out of living. It feels comfortable. It's a comfort zone. But for me and my evolution and my in extremity of like my work and imagination technology and my soul's purpose here, to challenge and to rebel against old structures and to reimagine whole systems, I am looking for the innovation always. And to me, the innovation here is going from linear logic left brain to creativity, non-linear, non-illogical. That to me is where the fun is. And it's not, I mean, I've gone to the either end of the extremes, and to me it's the convergence in the center, the singularity in the center, where the magic is most potent, in that presence. And in that presence, in that 0 point, we are not linear. We are multidimensional beings. We exist beyond personal identity. We exist beyond time, linear time. And so when you live from that expansive, infinite, limitless perspective, there really is nothing to prepare for, but whatever responsibilities are in the moment of your fun, play, joy to do. And the more allegiance you have to the higher truths in yourself, the more the lower truths, illusions, become more apparent of as choices, because it's what feels best instead of what thinks best. Thinking versus feeling life, that's the distinction.
So then that goes back to like you using your guidance system of pain. The further that you're pulled away from that, then the less that feels good. So you would know that you are getting further from your truth and more into an illusion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The more into your truth, it's actually paradoxical. The more into your truth, the emptier you get. And the more empty you are, the more free you are, because there's no extra person trying to juggle life, but it's all an trust and faith in the universe that the excitement is the guidance.
Very cool. Let me see my questions here. Oh, this is a good one. What is the quantum self?
Just a simple question. The quantum self represents the the expression of the quantum particle in and as our humanity. So when we go from being a third dimensional body, physical based consciousness only, to a mind, mental, emotional, time, so we used to just be physically based, and then we got time and we became mental and emotional, and beyond the five senses started to become more used, to the next leap in our evolution to the fifth dimension, which is all of it and none of it. So we are the mind, body, spirit, soul, but we're also not the body, not the mind, not the spirit, not the soul. And the quantum self is my way of expressing that multidimensional superpower, limitlessness, God, union with God, unseparated oneness in a technological way.
I'm trying to listen to see if I have any questions coming up, but I think I know. So, okay, let me see questions. That's a big one. Is there always a level beyond where you are if you are always evolving?
Yes, change is constant.
Okay.
But stillness is the ultimate movement.
Tell me more. Why is stillness the ultimate movement?
So I would want to get on common terms again with this question about, what did you say? Growth? No, you said
evolving.
Evolving, right?
Mm-hmm.
Evolution is time-based from the perspective of that question. Evolving in time. And so if a person is evolving, it's always going to be change. It's always going to be change. But the pinnacle or the ultimate expression of evolution and presence and the greatest discovery in the human kingdom, as Muji says, is stillness. Because it's presence, the expression of presence without personal identity. And so from that position, it's changeless.
So then you're always the same, but you're still evolving, correct? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the essence is formless, changeless, presence, spirit, impersonal, neutral. It's not dead. It's full life. But it's not the limited life that we think we are as a person. That's why with the Conscious Leadership Network, it's a paradox, because it's a movement, but it's birthed from stillness.
I see. Okay, let's see here. This question says, this is about skepticism. It's asking, what is skepticism really? And how did you transform it?
Skepticism is intelligent doubt.
Explain.
Skepticism is neurotic doubt.
Okay.
So it is doubt amplified. And amplified from intelligence, from intellect. It's taking doubt and it's amplifying it into greater capacities of complexity. It's complexity. It's a doubt made more complex.
By meaning?
Yep.
What
Meaning.
we talked about it earlier?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
And now there's a couple different positions here we can go down, but science is the engine of science. Excuse me, the engine of science, the drive of science is I don't know. That's what gives science its meaning, is the doubt, the skepticism, the I don't know of theory, principle, knowledge, information, research, whatever avenue of expression. We're talking science and scientific perspective and scientific method. It's all from the skepticism of a given or the skepticism of an old theory. And so if, like, for example, when Einstein drops the theory of general relativity, it's saying, I doubt this old paradigm, the old science. I'm skeptical that that's the truth. That's the muscle, or that's the brain, the intellect. It's an innovation. It is a perfection. It's an imperfection seeking things can be better evolution. Like that's the muscle. That's the tool of the mind right there. Is like what we've been doing is not inefficient or wrong. And I think because I'm doubting that way, that antiquated thing, that's the purpose for this. This is the new theory. This is the new hotness, because I've done the scientific method to derive my theory, the hypothesis. Like that science is skepticism. So in the old way, like science is skeptical of spirit or spirituality because it can't see it. That's why they're different silos of our imagination, because science doesn't yet see the unseen, that spirituality. I'm talking old because now quantum physics and quantum mechanics is starting to come together with it. But that's what I'm saying is science is skeptic of spirit because it seems like woo-woo magic thinking that an unseen God can do whatever it's doing without measurement. Science needs measurements. Otherwise, it's skeptical because nothing is proven from the eyes of science, the skepticism of the intellect looking for logic, rational, grounded, real results to prove that it's real or whatever. So there's a purpose to it. There's a muscle. There's a tool there. But when it's rampant with neuroses and negativity, then that skepticism is literally you with a machete just doing this blindly on all your thoughts or all belief, all magic, all belief, all childlike imagination. Skeptic. No, I don't believe. I disbelief, doubt. God, that's skepticism. That's the neurotic, or what did I say? The complexity of doubt on an amplified intellect.
So, and that was you. So how did you change that? How did you go from that to now?
Because I started to listen to them. I started to listen to my thoughts. I started to listen how they were treating me, how I was treating myself, how I was feeling. Because I was living in the thinking, living in the negativity, living in the negative worldview. And so once I started to feel and actually feel how it was hurting me, that was the edge where I decided, F that. There has to be, like, this hurts. When I actually went from thinking to feeling, I started to listen to myself, listen to my emotions instead of disregarding them, instead of being a skeptic of my emotions and living in the thoughts, in the thinking. That allowed me to say, oh, that actually hurts and I can feel that pain. I don't want this negativity anymore. Boom, it opens up the portal to belief instead of disbelief.
So I know a lot of your work, and I know that you said emotion isn't in the way, emotion is the way. Is that what you're meaning by this?
Yes. So I think that's a good opportunity to draw something.
Okay.
Oh, this one. Oh, this one. Got distracted. There we go. Oh, cool. Keeps that background. Maybe we can change that. Or just keep the background, I guess. That's good. Make it cool. Yeah. Okay. So this is where, instead of trying to explain it without having a common terms, I want to go to the mechanics, because that to me visually explains much more than just my words trying to explain it. Because you asked emotions, and for me, instead of trying to dive right in, I want to show you how I see what emotions are in my consciousness, to show you why. And to do that, I want to just illustrate what is a thought. What is a thought? Because then we can understand that question. So a thought is simply just a movie screen. So just imagine like we're meditating, right? So we're sitting down, our eyes are closed, and it's just a film strip of thoughts. That's basically from a big picture what's going on, right? Thought. And that's just happening in time. So what is a thought? I've asked myself that when I was first trying to master my mind. Is a thought is, Matt Kahn uses this, is a flashcard. So this is a thought, and the front of it, the flatness of it is the emotion. That's what's on a thought. So the thought is the container, the screen, and what's on the surface of it is the emotion. So what was the one we were talking about? We'll just say, what, happy?
Yeah.
That is the thought. I am happy. So we have that thought, and then that thought stays like a cloud. I'm happy. And that's flat emotion. And that's how most people live, is in this flat reality. The moment that we go like this and we add depth to our thoughts, this is feeling. This is feeling.
Feeling happy.
Yes, all the feelings of happiness, all the time, all the experience, all of the subjective meaning, like we were talking about, is behind the thought or contained in the thought. Or I'll move this way. Does that make sense so far? So each of these contains time, and for most people, this is so closely interlinked, there's no space between thoughts. There's no space between thoughts. So that's why people feel cluttered and noisy, because there's no space between thoughts. And that's what meditation does, is it goes thought, 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 thought to thought space, thought space, thought space. And then the space, the more present you are, starts to get wider between thought space, thought space, thought space. That's what happens when you meditate. But to understand that this is a thought, is an emotion with the depth of feeling, now we really understand what's going on much more clearly, to see choice, to see freedom. And so what was the question? Can you repeat that original question again? You're muted.
Okay, so I had seen something that you had said, emotion isn't in the way, it is the way.
Yes, because we're either the stream of thoughts, which I've just explained why an emotion and a thought are connected. The thought is the container, the emotion is the flat, and the feeling is the depth. And so we're either immersed in each one, or one for a long time, or when we meditate, we get a little bit of space, awareness around the thought to see them instead of being them. We're like watching, observing thought, and not identifying or attaching ourselves to them, grabbing them. They become just clouds. And now who is watching? Is that a thought?
Mm.
And that's where, Muji is much more kind of slow at getting that really there. But I do my best to show that as an observer, and you zoom out as far as you can, this Earth is a thought. And so we can, I know it's whatever, but we can say Big Bang, however long ago, till now, till the future, where Earth, this is Earth, that's a thought. And so we go from that to the human. I was born in 1988, and I'm going to live forever, but whatever the end is, that is the human, or whatever, thought. So depending on what level of perception you go, you can see what thought, like zooming in, zooming out, all the way to where you see the eternal thought in which you arise from at that time.
So the more observing you are as just the observer, you would become more emotion, like less feeling. There would be no feeling, blank.
Empty.
Empty.
Yeah, blank slate.
So if you were feeling, say, peaceful while you were meditating, are you then still observing, or are you still in it because you can feel?
Right. So that means that there is still space, empty space, but you're saying instead of being sad, or what is the opposite of peace would be chaos. Let's use that instead.
Yeah.
Chaos is negative, heavy, crazy, blah, noisy, to higher frequency, the thought of peace. And it's higher frequency, it's lighter, because this thought you're not identifying with, because you are the infinite space around it. But it's to explain your human emotion, the emotion of peace, where you are on the frequency scale. You are peaceful, so thus you're creating a thought of peace on a high frequency because it's light.
And then if you were feeling chaos and you are the space, then you could just immediately go to peace, because that's a choice.
Yes. It might be difficult to make that leap, that jump. You know, the emotional guidance would say, like, find the next best, and work your way up. But yes, in theory, you can make that leap if you really desired it to create that.
Yeah, makes sense to me. Wow. Yeah.
Is that a good place to close?
Yeah, I think that's a good place to bookmark the Q&A for sure.
Love it. All right, so we will be back next week, and if you're not already in the Ultimate Arena, at a certain point it will cut from public hot seat availability. We're doing that as we build. We've got like 70 spots left. As we go along, it will be, you have to be in the Ultimate Arena to be in the hot seat, but as we build, I'm going to do more public because I like to be able to do live coaching and stuff like that. So yeah, join the Conscious Leadership Network, join the best tribe on the planet, the Ultimate Arena with me, Jeremy Lasman, where you get to step into the spotlight of your superpowered passion with imagination technology. So I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of your day, and we will see you next week.